guys, Elliot here from Venom Films coming at you with another tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to do a Hancock superhero landing effect. Now for this effect you're going to need a clean plate and also a footage of you jumping and landing on the ground. And before we get on with the tutorial, I'd just like to say a quick shout out to Crash Hard F1. Go and check out their channel, I'll leave a link to that in the description. So without further ado, let's get on to the tutorial. Okay, so once you're in Hitfilm Express 2017, what you are going to want to do is drag the footage onto the timeline and then turn this into a composition by right-clicking and going to make composite. So what I'm first going to do is get the clean plate, and I need the clean plate because what the clean plate does is it allows me to add stuff on top without changing anything. I will just generally need this to sell the effect. So I'm going to just cut it there and there. Now, you know, I want to record the clean plate, preferably in the same clip as the one where you're doing the jumping, as otherwise the sun can change and stuff and it doesn't look as good. So what I like to do to make this more organised is I like to have the clean plate on the bottom, just because it's just personal preference really, but I think it helps organise. And now what I'm going to do is go to the part of the jump where I'm just going to go down. Now I did jump this a few times to set it right, so I'm just going to go to the jump I like. Use the control and arrow keys to find the frame where I start going down in the jump. So as you notice, it's about there. So I'm going to cut this bit to there. And now you'll notice it's starting to come together. Out there. It's starting to come together, but we also need to make this a little bit more realistic. Now one of the things you can do to make it a bit more realistic is actually having me come flying in from the very top of the screen. Because as you notice, I come in flying in from about halfway. So to do this from the top, what I'm going to do is zoom in, select the frame that I want, cut it like that, and then make that frame a lot longer by getting this time stretch tool and pulling it out to about 3 frames. Now once we've cut that out, what we need to do is pull that over just on top of the clean plate and then pull the footage of me jumping to in front of it like that. So now what we want to do is actually just mask this footage out. Now this doesn't have to be too accurate, as we're going to feather this and it's going to be really blurry because we're going motion down. So I'm going to zoom in, click on the pen tool and just roughly, quickly go around clicking this like so. I'm going to speed this up as it can take quite a while, so I'll be back once I am done. Okay, so once you have masked it out like I have, you're going to notice that it's just the footage and then the background like this. Now what we can do is just go down to this mask and we're going to just feather the edges. I'm just going to do it with both feather. And you'll notice if you do it lots, it'll look pretty rubbish. So we're just going to do it a tidgy bit, a few pixels, maybe about 4. Now you might be thinking nothing's really changed that much, but I've actually masked around the outside. So now we can do is go back to the cursor tool and we can lift this up and it's just me floating, which is rather cool. So we're going to go to the last frame of me falling in and go to the transform to the positions and make sure these are all at 0, which will make it match in with the original. And we're going to go back to the start and we are going to go on the position and we're going to move it up to the top. I'm just going to zoom out a bit more like that. So now we have me falling in like this. I'm just going to do a quick render. Now you also might notice, if I just play this through, is I slow down dramatically. Oh, get that back to scale. I slowed down dramatically when I'm just about to reach the floor. So I'm just going to cut the first frame or 2 frames out to make it look a bit more frantic movement. And now we'll see this. We're also going to turn motion blur on for the footage of me falling in, which will go to the layer properties and just go to this motion blur one. Now this motion blur one, it can take quite a lot of energy out of your computer and it might get quite laggy, but don't worry, it will look, the end result's worth it. So now we can just do another RAM preview. I'm going to let that go through. We have this. Now, to sell the effect even more, what we can do is go to the Footage Crate website and add a few different things on. So the first one I'm going to add on is a ground impact. And this is going to be above the footage of me when I'm actually moving around, and below the footage of me when I'm just a video kind of thing. Just a photo, I mean. So you'll notice here it takes a few seconds to come on. So I'm just going to get rid of that bit to there. And I'm going to place this down below, and I'm going to make that a bit smaller. And you may also be noticing that it looks a bit weird, the kind of like depth and stuff. So we're going to turn this into a 3D layer. Click yes. And we're going to go click on it. And we're going to click on this kind of little square here, which is going to turn a red ring. And we're going to pull that, oh, it's quite difficult this, backwards. So it makes it a bit more flatter and lies flatter on the ground like that. Now you'll notice my feet have kind of dissolved into the ground kind of thing. So to sort that out, what we're going to do is just mask around me very roughly. Now this just has to be up to about the feet where I'm affected by the layer. So what we're going to do is just duplicate the bottom layer. So we have this twice. And on the top one, we're going to click the pen tool. And we're going to go roughly round the feet. Which can be a bit tedious, but it doesn't matter because the end result is worth it. So once the mask is connected, what you want to go to do is go to the drop down menu on the transform and make sure you've clicked the circle on the path, as otherwise when you move it on, you'll ruin everything. You also want to do the position as well. So I'm just going to click on this one, as I can just easily move this down a bit to match the position I am in. And I can also squish this a bit. You can also turn off the layer if it will help you see below it, and you can just always turn it back on. So I'm just going to speed this up a bit, as it can be a bit tedious, but I see you once I am done. Okay, so once you have done that, you're going to click on the layer that has the mask, and we're just going to move that on top of the footage. Now you might be the footage, it's the effect of the ground. Now you may be thinking, oh, this looks a bit awful, but what we're going to do is just go to the shape and feather it quite a lot to about there. That looks quite good. Maybe actually a bit more, just out as well. So now we have this, which I think looks rather cool. Now I'm just going to do a quick RAM preview of this. And what a RAM preview does is basically kind of renders it in the editing software, but very quickly, so you can kind of get a feel of what it will look like afterwards. So there I have that. So I'm just play this through. And as you can see, it looks quite cool. Now what I'm also going to do is add some other stuff. So I'm first going to add some sparks. So I'm going to put this on top of the ground bursting layer. So I have some sparks here, and they're a bit faint at the moment, as you can see. So I'm just going to make a glow effect on these. So glow, and drag the glow on, which will hopefully bring them out a bit. And the threshold. Now we're going to position these as well to where we think these would be when we actually landed, and we're going to also pull that so it starts to where the other ground effect is. So probably just a bit, just a bit lower, so to about there. And now we're going to also add another kind of effect to make the ground look a bit more realistic, and this is going to be just some rubble that's just going to be kind of kicked up when you land. So I'm just going to drag that to there. Oh, go reverse that. It's quite hard when you've got lots of layers, but so you need to make sure you click on the layer you want to edit. Bring this down. We're also going to want to make this smaller because we're not going to be too much dirt. We're going to get kicked up. We can use the right click to move it around on the frame. So now, once we've done that, we have this. And what we also want to do after this is probably add a sound effect. Now we can get with sound effects on the Footage Crate website, and you can also get explosion sound effects on the website as well. Okay, so I've gone ahead and found a few sound effects that I think I like. Now these ones weren't actually from Footage Crate, I think these were from German thing, but I quite like them. So I'm going to just drag the whoosh one on. And I like my audio at the bottom, just because it's more organised. Now we want the whoosh to come on probably a bit before we land to like make a sense of it actually coming. And then we're going to add an crash sound effect to just the second we hit the ground. Once we've done that, the next and final thing we want to do is add a grade layer. Now what a grade layer does is colour grade all the footage underneath that. So I'm going to get a cinematic one. And then I'll use my one that I did in my tutorial, which is this one. Now I'm also going to make the letterbox a bit smaller because otherwise we can't actually see the actual effect about there. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to like, subscribe, let me know in the comment section what other tutorials you want to see. And until next time, bye.